Hello and welcome to IRL F3. It is round 1 of season 10, and as we can see, the drivers has just started quali. We don't have anyone on a lap yet, but as you can see, Matt Romano starts off quali as usual by retiring, so he's gonna have a nice 17 minutes break where you can watch the rest of the drivers try to set their absolute best laps as they're trying to grab pole here. And with that, I am also, of course, Sander Sorhaug, back for comms. It's been a little bit of a while now, but do my best not to sound too rusty, as we're currently following Thomas McIver here in his Haas, as he will be ready to start a lap in just a few moments, as he should be the first driver to start his lap as well. And now we can see him heading into turn 1, or actually on medium tires, so that's a little bit surprising. Looking a little bit shaky on the exit of turn 2 and turn 1, and he's actually on the grass, and that's his lap over and done with. However, we saw Erminator passing him. He's on the soft tire, so he's definitely on a proper lap. You can see him now going through some tricky corners here, as he's just about finished the first sector now with a 26.5. Should not be too bad of a first sector. Erminator, who notably is in the pink car, meaning he's Matt Romano's teammate. As we know, Matt is always in that car. Now heading down towards turn 11, 12, probably the trickiest corner on the track to get exactly right, but it looks like a decent run. Terminator, also for that matter, last season's commentator, now stepping into the car, so let's see what he can do then. Only the final sector left. 2 more corners before he's gonna go towards the line as the first car to set a lap. Now let's see, will it be a 19, will it be a 20? It's gonna be a 120.9. And we're gonna have a look. If you could just excuse me for a short moment. As Joachim Storm has invalidated his lap, and we can see that he set a 30 flat, so I highly doubt that that lap is representative. But we're gonna go back to another old-timer here in IRL, Chris Ryan, as he's coming in towards the final sector. Let's see what the American can do. So we see him heading into the final corner here, looking a little bit careful, and he goes into the pit, so might have messed up his lap. However, here we have one of the people that I think should be fighting for the championship, Michael Marlowe, as he sets a provisional pole time with a 120.7. As Billy, I believe that was, also just set his first lap. But let's look at Ivan in his Ferrari here then. Coming into one of the corners I hate most on this track, as it isn't really the most tricky corner, but when it comes to traction you can so easily lose it into the wall on the right side there. As we see that there is another driver who has crashed out, unluckily for him. Now let's look at Ivan through the final corner. up towards the line. It's going to be a 120.7 and just behind Michael here. Bevessier should be the only driver on an actual lap now, so we'll follow him. And he is definitely not on a lap anymore. And in that case, let's see. Thomas McIver has just started his lap and he's on softs this time, looking much better through turn 1 and turn 2. Not looking completely confident, but we'll see what it holds to as he goes into turn 3. Not too bad of a run there. Now we're gonna try to carry as much speed around this corner as possible. And then 26.4 in the first sector. I don't believe that is as quick as Thomas was hoping for, but there is a second and third sector where you can take kind of time as well, as we can now see him coming out of turn 10, now heading down towards turn 11. As Ivan improves and does a 120.2, and that is provisional pole for Ivan. So he went for 2 laps there. That's interesting. Ooh, big tag slapper by Michael in third. Not Michael, Thomas in turn 13. And another big tank slapper in the second to last corner. Now heading towards the line. Is this gonna be good enough? 120.4, so not a bad lap in the end by Thomas there. Now, there we go. So we can see that Ermin has invalidated his lap time. And we'll head over to Billy Mossum, another driver who's been in IRL for quite a long time now. Had a really up and down career. He's had some races he's just looked like he's improved massively, but then he's got other races where he's just been completely gone. See then down towards turn 13 here, we can see Haas, I believe that was getting out of his way. Choosing a rather odd way to get out of the way a little bit. Through the last 2 corners and down towards the finish line. It's gonna be a 120.6 from Billy here, and that is good enough for third. And we can see that Michael Marlowe is now on his second lap, so let's see what he can do then. Can he improve? Can he take back that provisional pole after 3 people beating him now? Michael Marlowe now heading towards turn 11-12. Such a crucial corner. As we can see that Ross actually set 120 flat to take provisional pole. Now his teammate is coming towards turn 13. He will try to challenge that. Now through the final 2 corners just now. And on to the main straight. What's it gonna be? A 120.4, which is 4th, so not actually moving much up then, moving 1 position up. we'll have a look on Logan Skelton in the Mercedes this season. A new driver, so little more difficult to predict where this guy is gonna finish. However, he's done a 22-1 so far in quali. As we can now see that he's going through turn 10, getting close to the wall there. Now down towards turn 13, we can see a Red Bull in front of him. I believe that should be Enzo. And he might be on a lap, not completely sure. He was not, he's out on the grass now. Using the car like a lawnmower, just like Valtteri. Our Logan through the final corner. Should be an improvement of 121.6, which puts him 8th at the moment. And Thomas McIver seems to be the only driver on track doing a lap now, so we'll follow him again then. 5 thousandths down on his time in sector 1. Now let's see, coming up to turn 9 and 10. Looking like he's getting a good run through there. Getting down towards turn 11 and 12 now. Let's see, can he get the maximum out there? Says he should have a purple sector too, so could be interesting to see how high this time is gonna place him. Ooh, and deep in turn 13. And I know the pain of that. I have done that myself before, so and he aborts his lap and goes into the pit. But let's see, Tom Spicer in the Williams this season, he's on his first lap. A little bit of a tank slapper in turn 3 there. Now going down towards turn 7 and 8, or 8 and 9 I believe it is, actually. Set a purple sector 1. However, we know how reliable this game is when showing purple sectors, so it's difficult to actually say. Good question, isn't it, Bran? It's been a long time since I last did comms now, but for this season there's a comeback for me, you can say. Our Tom Spicer down towards turn 13. Not getting too wide. Might have touched the grass a little bit, but shouldn't hinder him too much as he's coming into the final corner in just a moment. And what is it gonna be as he opens the DRS? It's gonna be a 121.6, which places him 9th at the moment. And with that, we should just be waiting on people on their outlaps. And I believe Joachim Storm, or actually I don't know if he thought Ivan was on the lap, but Ivan should be our first driver on the lap then. Coming through turn 1 and turn 2 a little bit deep in turn 1 maybe, but it looks like he still have gotten a lot of speed through there now. Through turn 3, not looking enough on the limit. Turn 4 then, and turn 5, tricky corners, but it looks like he's getting more out of those corners. Now through turn 6 and 7. I guess that is. Now this next chicane, this I'm not gonna lie for anyone. This track seems, when you look at it closer, a lot just like a lot of chicanes. However, I've been through turn 11 and 12 and down towards turn 13. Looking bad there, taking maybe a bit too much on the inside curb as Michael is out, and it looks like he's actually gone out in turn 12. So that's not gonna give him an optimal position after quali then, but we can see that Ivan does improve with a 1:19.8 and puts Ross under some pressure then, as we can see that Ross is currently on the lap as well. Coming out of turn 12 down towards turn 13, and he has been blocked. And there is a grid penalty. Well, that made Ross's quali not what he wanted, I would assume. As we head over to Enzo as he spins. And retires, so that means he's done with quali then. There isn't a lot of time left. Let's see who's on laps. Joachim has... Luke is on a lap, so let's see then. Luke Baker heading through the first sector, 2.5 tenths up on his time so far, so he should be in for an improvement there. There's also other drivers like Silva, Vessier, Thomas MacGyver on laps. We also have Ermin and Logan on laps. However, Luke almost 3 tenths up on his time now. Down to turn 13. Is he gonna be able to move a few positions up? And it's a back end loss. And that is his lap over with Logan. However, he's coming into the final 2 corners now. What can he do in his Mercedes then? I believe Ermin should have invalidated his lap. So Logan is the first driver on the valid lap, as it is not an improvement. And as you can see then, with Ross getting his 5 place grid penalty, we have Thomas MacGyver on pole position. Then Ivan Kingsley in second, Ross in third, Silva in fourth, then Michael Marlowe in fifth, Billy Mossam in sixth, Erwin in seventh, Logan in eighth, Tom Spicer in ninth, Luke Baker in 10th. Then outside of the top 10, ooh, trying to remember names there. And that should be Lewis Williams in 11th, then Chris Ryan in 12th, Enzo in 13th, Jeremy Pope in 14th, Joachim in 15th, Jessica Harrison in 16th without a time. And then it's another one of the new ones, Stephen Grayson, who runs up on the grid in 17th before Craig Woolley takes 18th and Matt Romano starts last in 19th. And with that, we're just going to wait on the drivers to pick their strategy. For everyone who doesn't know, there is the main strategy should be soft medium. However, I'm betting we're gonna see some do either soft hard or even a soft medium. But the main strategy should be soft medium. However, there is Australia, and we saw in IRL F1 yesterday, there is always high possibilities of safety cars in this race. As the drivers now get on with their formation lap, and we will check tires. We can see that Lewis Williams in 11th is starting on a set of medium tires, so he's gonna do medium soft then in his Alfa Romeo. Chris Ryan doing the same strategy, he's gonna go for medium soft as well. Then we have Enzo, Jeremy and Joachim all starting on softs. That's a bit of a strange decision in my opinion. They don't really get much advantage out of doing that. Before Jessica Harrison, the only girl on the grid, starts on medium tires. Then Stephen Grayson and Craig Woolley will start on softs, and Matt Romano in his pink Racing Point will start on mediums. Now with that then, if anyone has any favorites they'd like to point out in the chat, then do so. I'm gonna say right now that the Ferrari pairing certainly looks strong in second and third there. Thomas MacGyver also looking strong at the moment, but I'm gonna be a little bit careful about how strong I think he is, as I have seen him in positions like this before and it hasn't necessarily usually paid off. He is a bit of a bottle. I think it's gonna be a long time before we see me win again, Luke. I would really need a lot of luck, and also one of my best tracks for that to win at the moment. However, nothing is impossible. As we now can see the drivers getting into the grid slots. And with that, it should be interesting to see what's gonna happen here. Waiting for a good camera angle now. There we have it. There's 3, there's 4, there's 5 red lights. And away we go. And a jump start by Ermin, as he's gonna have to serve a drive-through penalty then. However, Thomas manages to keep his position in turn 1. However, Silva seems to have passed his teammate and got him to second place. Now how much is these two Ferraris gonna battle? As you can see that Silva goes right for the move on first place. MacGyver now on the outside through turn 4, not getting the move done. He's gonna have to sit back and wait for a better opportunity, as we have the ever so consistent timing glitch popping up. But you can see that right now they seem to be lining up, although I believe that is Ross going for the move on Billy Mossum as he makes his way past and up into 5th place. We can see Ermin then painfully driving around with that drive-through, but look at this though. Oh, there is fighting for the lead as Thomas has lost his lead to Silva, but he's certainly not giving up on it. as he's trying in the second to last corner, but that's a difficult corner, especially on the outside. But now heading down the main straight, can he go for a move here? I don't think he will be close enough. He will not, however, with a good run through here, and it looks like he's getting a good run. Could he make a move for it into turn 3? Look at this. Silva defending the inside. Thomas going for the outside, trying a switch back. Now he's going to have the outside for this next corner. And what a move by Thomas MacGyver. Right around the outside in turn 4 and takes back the lead from the Ferrari of Silva. As we now can see, Michael also getting put a little under pressure from his teammate Ross. I do not know how, if there is going to be any team orders there, but Billy Mossam also putting Ross under a little bit of pressure here, as there is battles for the lead again, as Silva takes back the lead from Thomas MacGyver. A bit of a strange place, but look at this though. Thomas MacGyver coming right back at him on the outside in turn 13, and what brilliant racing we're seeing. However, Silva keeps his position. Now, and Thomas MacGyver going for a lead dive in the second to last corner and putting off Silva Bessier a little, as he's now side by side with his Ferrari teammate, but Ivan loses the back end out over the final corner and loses a position to Michael Marlowe, as Ross is going for a very ambitious move. It looks like in turn 1, and Ross is around, and that is a huge shame for him, as right now it is a big bottle by Ross. But now let's go back to the front. We can see Ivan right on the back of Michael Marlowe. There's going to be no break for Michael there. You can see Ivan, he's feisty. He wants to get past as quickly as possible. As they go out, they go into the wall. And it's a little difficult to see what happened, but I think Michael might have tried to move a little too much towards the racing line there. Then getting the wheel together with Ivan and going into the wall, which leaves Ivan down in 9th place now. As look at it, Ivan gets past Luke, and it's a virtual safety car, and that is for Jessica Harrison, which seems to have gone out in turn 12. So let's see, can we get a view? And there we can see her Red Bull standing in the wall. And unlucky for Jessica, not the best first race to the season, but it does happen, as Michael gets a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane, as he cleverly figures that he's gonna use this virtual. Ooh! And Chris Ryan gets a drive-through for speeding under a VSC. And I know especially how painful that is. But look at this though. Ivan forces his way through on Lewis Williams there. Now his next target, Logan. He's gonna try to get this move done as quickly as possible. Ooh, bit of a back end slide there from Ivan. Now through turn 12, you can see Ivan getting a good run on Logan. Logan isn't gonna be able to do much about this, as Ivan goes right back past and up into 4th place. And then just to check here to see, we should have Alpha, that is Ross of course. He made a pit stop under the VSC, same with Michael, so both the Alpha Tauris took advantage of that. Luke Baker did the same with Billy Mossam and Silva. So there's a couple of drivers taking advantage of the VSC. as we see Ermin putting on the fastest lap of the race so far. And look at this, we have Billy on fresh. Ooh, and it's another VSC, and this time it is Logan who is out. And ooh, and I see where he's been it. And I've been it there before myself, so I know that feeling isn't too great. Now let's see, where will we see action? And that is our second VSC already after 5 laps of racing. And a normal 3 second for Billy Mossam there. As we can see that Thomas MacIver and Enzo decides to pit right now. That's a bit strange. They should have really pitted the lap before if they wanted to do that, but they've chosen to pit now. As we can see that Billy Mossam is not far off Silva here, and there comes Thomas MacIver out of the pit as well. Didn't really get the best angle there, but we can see that he is now right in the fight with Luke Baker, as Silva just about got ahead. And that is not gonna make it easy now then, but however, Thomas MacIver though on the hard tires, so he is going to the end now. But I can also remember from yesterday that the hard tires were not that pleasant to be on. As we can see that Steven and Lewis is fighting, as Ivan is now back in the lead. But oh, and look at that, Thomas MacIver turned 12, losing it on the hard tires, doing a nice 360 though. I'm gonna give him 8 in style points for that. And look at that, Ivan on his old softs there, putting in fastest lap of the race so far. So he's currently then trying to overcut his opponent. And well, not a lot of fights going on right now. But we have Michael Marlowe. He's gonna try to make a move on Chris Ryan into turn 1, around the outside, and it looks like he gets the move done. However, Chris Ryan is still there. He's gonna go for the move back here in turn 3. And he just unfortunately goes a bit too deep. And a little onto the grass, losing that position and the position to Craig Woolley. Now look at Chris though, he's not happy about that mistake. He wants to get his position back, and you can see him right back on the back of Craig Woolley here, as I see some wing damage, so I don't know if that was either Craig going into the wall or if that was Chris going into the barrier. I can see an end plate missing on Chris's car, and you can see him struggling with the understeer because of that. As Tom Spicer is finally into the pit to pit over to medium tires. Those mediums should be making it to the end then, as we've now gone on to Billy Mossam, as he is currently still following Silva here. However, Billy on the soft tires though, Silva on the medium, so I will reckon Silva is aiming to go for a go towards the end. However, I'm not sure if he can actually make it on those tires. In the meantime, we know that Billy is definitely gonna have to pit again. Now let's see. Look at this. Billy getting a little more feisty now. He knows that he's on the soft tires. He has to make them count for while they're still actually good. So he's trying to get close enough to Silva here. As we see Delta in the pit, pitting over to hard tires. So he's definitely gonna go towards the end. However, I think he should. I think he should have gone on mediums, as it's gonna be difficult for him to catch up to Silva on those tires. However, Silva might still not make it though, so he's not in a bad position that way either. We can see Enzo though, he is trying to chase down Ivan now, and Enzo on those medium tires should have pretty significant tire advantage. As I can see that down in F2 there is a safety car already, as they're on lap 6. We're not really strangers to that here either. However, we've only had the VSCs so far. We can see that some people have picked up penalties now. As we're trying to look for a battle, we can see Billy in the pit already. That's an early pit stop on from those soft tires. And onto hard tires. That's okay. His strategy doesn't make any sense, but he's definitely going to the end from here. Let's see then, Ermin in 4th at the moment. However, Ermin still has to pit. Same with Jeremy in 3rd, Lewis in 2nd, and Steven in 1st. They all still need to pit. As I'm not sure what that was, but somebody would have looked like they were either letting people go through after turn 12 or somebody bottled it. That's currently then 2 net leaders, as we see both Steven, Jeremy and Ermin all going into the pit. However, Lewis staying out then as the leader of this race. However, in the net P1 and P2 is the 2 Ferraris, currently making a strong case for the constructor at the moment. And that is Michael Marlowe out of the race, and another VSC, and let's see. Oh, and he has crashed out of turn 2, making it, I think it's fair to say that it's been a bit of a disappointment for the Alpha Tauris this race so far, as Luke seems to actually let Ross go under a VSC here, which is strange. Nonetheless, then, that is the 3rd VSC of this race, as we still have 16 drivers still racing. And I had to just do something for a moment there, but nonetheless the VSC has ended. There is many battles on track. However, I think I can see that we have Ermin getting close to the back of Jeremy here for 8th place. That is... well, that seems to be the only battle ongoing. And ooh, as Jeremy goes deep in turn 3, leaving Ermin in P8 then, and Jeremy down in P9, now getting chased down by Billy Mossum in P10. As we can see that Chris Ryan gets another 3 seconds. Now, let's see then, can Billy Mossum get past Jeremy anytime soon? As we can actually see that Ivan is starting to close on his teammate in the front as well. But look at this though, Billy Mossum going for the move on Jeremy into turn 13 and gets the move done and dusted. Now for the net lead then. The two Ferraris, Silva and Ivan. Is it going to be team orders and let them just focus on their own race, or will they battle it for the leader? Hopefully they will battle it. Ivan a little too far behind at the moment, probably feeling that these hard tires aren't really the greatest tires. As Ross has gotten past Matt Romano. I don't know, it could have been Matt just letting him by. As Ivan is struggling to actually close enough on Silva here. Really feeling the slipperiness of these hard tires. As there is yellows. And that is... oh, I think Lewis Williams has done what nobody wants to do. I think he has hit the pit wall when entering the pit. But now let's get back to the two Ferraris, as there seems to be team orders here. Ivan getting close enough, Silva letting him go, making sure that they get the most for the team here today. I'm sure Silva is starting to feel that his tires is getting older as well. Now let's see, Rostam, one of the favorites on before this race, now struggling down in 10th. It's not been the easiest race for him. However, Steven is the one we're gonna go on board with now, as we can see that he is getting closer to Tom Spicer here. Now into turn 11 and out of turn 12. Steven not close enough to make a move here. He's showing himself in the mirrors of Tom though, making him just know that he's there and he's looking for an opportunity. Now let's see, down towards turn 1. I don't think Grayson will be close enough here either. Or he is closing a little with a good run through turn 1 and turn 2. There could be a possibility. However, he gets a little bit deep. And he's gonna have to sit behind Tom Spicer for longer. Now looking at Steven though, he's getting back right on to the back end of Tom here. And once again showing himself in Tom's mirrors. Saying I am here, saying I am quicker, saying I want to get past. The question is then just when will he get his opportunity and will he keep it? Because right now he gets close to Tom here, but then he struggles a little. However, what about Ross on Jeremy here? Ross getting a good run through turn 11-12. Right on to the back of Jeremy Popper. On the outside, trying a switchback. On the inside for turn 14. And wow, Tokyo Drift right there from Ross. As it might have been that he hasn't been left enough room by Jeremy. That is difficult to say from the angle we had. However, I'm sure that he won't be happy about that, as we can see that Steven has finally gotten past Tom. So after following them for a couple of laps, we unfortunately missed the overtake, but then Steven is up into 5th place. And he is now going to try to chase down Thomas McGuire on his hard tires. We can see that in the lead we still have Ivan ahead of Sylvain now, but Sylvain isn't losing much time. He is staying with Ivan. As that is Craig Woolley going into the pit to retire the car. Doesn't see the opportunity for any points now and just decided that he'll retire from the race. As Silva is starting to lose a little more now. But we'll head over to Lewis Williams on the back of Jeremy Popper. Both drivers on hard tires, however. Lewis on a tiny bit fresher tires. We can see Ross in the background as well, so this is going to be a three-way fight. Now look at this. Lewis Williams goes right past Jeremy Popper. Now next driver will be Ross, looking for a move to get past Jeremy here. Last time he tried, he ended up doing a Tokyo drift. This time he's gonna get past easily and up into 10th place for Ross. Now to be fair, ooh, and look at that, Ivan setting the fastest lap of the race, really asserting his dominance right now. While Ross, who was looking so strong after quali, is now struggling down in 10th. However, he has his target set here on Lewis Williams, and will he make a move for it into turn 3? I don't think he's quite close enough. However, he has DRS open and he's gonna have to stay behind. You can also see that Thomas McGuire is getting closer to the rear of Enzo. That is the battle for the last place on the podium today. Enzo having a huge advantage there in the fact that it doesn't have any pens. But look at this though. Ross trying it around the outside on Lewis Williams. Now going side by side down towards turn 11. Ross seems to back out of it. He's just going to try and get the best run as possible out of turn 12. And he seems to have gotten a pretty good run. Now, is he going to try it in towards turn 13? He goes for a late dive. And he might have tried it. He might have forced his way through a little bit there, but he's gotten past and up into 9th. With that, we're going to move up towards the front of the grid. Thomas MacGyver right on the back of Enzo. Oh, and did he hit the wall there? A little unsure. He definitely made a mistake, and we can see that Stephen Grayson has passed him here, making Thomas going down to 5th place while Stephen moves up into 4th. As Ross might have made a mistake somewhere. He's been passed by Lewis Williams at some point. Is that Ross having wing damages? Oh, and Luke Baker is out. And I'm not sure exactly where he went out. He might have just retired in the pit actually. And look at that, Silva into pit. Same with Enzo, leaving Ivan in the lone lead by 18 seconds ahead of Stephen Grayson. And then Thomas MacGyver in 3rd. As we see also Ross going into the pit. Now look at this then. Thomas MacGyver right on the back of Stephen. They're both currently in podium positions. However, it's difficult to say with all of top 8 having penalties who is in the best positions here. And exactly how far can Silva get himself up after this pit stop? He is of course on the soft tires. He does have a massive pace advantage on the drivers ahead of him then. As he picks up another penalty as well though, that's not going to help him. But let's have a look at Thomas MacGyver here. Right on the back of Stephen, going on to the main straight. I don't think he's close enough. It's going to have to be for through turn 3. He makes the move at least then. Through turn 1 and 2, Thomas not really getting the best run here, and he's gonna have to sit behind, and that is gonna be annoying for him. Now we're gonna move on to Silva as he is closing on Ermin, and he is closing quickly on those soft tires, and it should really be an easy move when he catches up to him. We should probably see somebody take fastest lap now soon as well, with Silva, Enzo, Ross, Matt and Chris Ryan all being on these tires, as Silva is catching up to Thomas MacGyver and Ermin fighting, which means Thomas has made a mistake somewhere and lost a couple of positions, but he's gonna have to lose out to Silva there as he goes past and up into 5th place. Now Silva is gonna look at getting past Erminator as quickly as possible. And look at this. Through turn 14, a place where you rarely see moves, but Silva goes right past on his way faster soft tires. And is this gonna be the new fastest lap? It does not look like it. What about the drivers further down the grid? It doesn't look like any of them are in battles. As we can see that Thomas McIver is pitting. Same with Tom Spicer, so surprisingly a lot of people pitting at the end there. Look at this though, Tom Spicer is going to come out right ahead of Enzo, and I think Enzo might have gotten a wing damage from running into Tom Spicer. And look at this, Enzo trying to force his way through on the outside here. Now on the inside, it's a difficult move, and he's gonna have to sit back for now. And this seems to be the closest battle at the moment. We're looking through the grid, we can see that with Tom Spicer pitting, Silva is now back in third place. Back in a podium position and catching on Steven. As Ross showed that he was passing Thomas, however with the gap between them it must have been a mistake by Thomas somewhere. Now what about Tom Spicer? He is on the fresh soft tires. Can he close the gap on Lewis Williams ahead of him, as we see Ross taking the fastest lap of the race right now? Being inside of the top 10, he should pick up that point as well. Now we can see Tom Spicer catching quickly on Lewis Williams. Lewis Williams on those old hard tires. I don't think he will be putting up too much of a fight for Tom Spicer here. Now through turn 14. And you can see that for every corner they go through, those soft tires is getting Tom closer and closer onto the main straight, and Tom is now within 6/10 of Lewis Williams. We're not going to see a move here, but we might see a move down towards turn 3. Through turn 1 and 2. Tom trying to push, trying to get as close as possible, and look at this. Gaining quickly. Is he going to go right down the inside? He is. And up into 6th place for Tom Spicer. Now he will have clean error, as he will have an 8-second gap up to Billy Mossum. That's going to be difficult to catch in just 5 laps. Even though Billy is also on even older hard tires than Lewis Williams is on. We can also see that actually Silva is starting to get really close to Steven here. And Enzo struggling to catch Lewis Williams. However, we do believe Enzo does have some wing damage, which will make it a little more difficult. Now let's look at this. We have Ross Stanholm right on the back of Jeremy Pope now, and Ross on those fresh tires should have an easy job on a task here, as he goes right down the inside into turn 3, and he actually goes too deep. He goes onto the grass and loses that position, and he's gonna have to take that position again. As there is somebody who's been off somewhere. I'm not completely sure where. I'm not completely sure who. However, we're gonna stick with Ross and Jeremy for the time being, as Ross, despite going off in turn 3, is still right on the back of Jeremy here. He's gonna look to make the move sometime very soon, and look at this, he's right on Jeremy's bumper going through turn 11 and 12, and now down the inside in towards turn 13. Ross is gonna get right past, and this time he's not gonna go too deep. He's gonna take that position, and that is Thomas McIver, who has lost it, I believe. He did, and he has gotten wing damage, and that is his chance of points definitely out the window now, I believe. But look at this though. Sylvain Vessier, right on the back of Stephen Grayson. There's 3 laps to go. Old mediums against old hards. Old softs, I mean, not old hards. With also Ivan 25 seconds in the lead at the moment. There is no doubt about who is winning at the moment, but there is a fight for second. And look at this then, Silva right around the outside through turn 12, and he makes it look easy as he gets past Steven there and up into second place. However, he will not catch his teammate, that is too big of a gap. But it looks like we might have a Ferrari 1-2 on our hands in the first race of the season then. Unless Steven can get back at him. As we can have a small look at penalties, we can see both the Ferraris has 6 seconds. Steven has 3 seconds, so if he can keep up with Sylvain now, he can still get this second place. Ermin down in 4th with 3 seconds as well. Billy with 12 seconds in 5th place. I know I've said it before when doing comes over Billy as well, but the penalties always seem to be an issue for Billy. Matt Romano, currently the only driver on the grid who doesn't have a penalty. See that Steven is struggling because Silva is pushing right now to get Steven outside of that 3-second window. It is 1.8 seconds between these two right now. Now Silva, keep pushing, you have 2 laps to go. You have 1 second to take on Steven, and you'll secure that 1-2-4 Ferrari. I do realize that is easier said than done, but Steven is on a set of very old medium tires now that should be getting close to puncturing range. We can see there's 2.5 seconds separating second and third at the moment. That means that Steven is technically still in second place. However, there is 1 more lap to do. There is only half a second for Silva to catch. And you can see him, he's pushing, he barely has any ERS to work with. As it is now 2.6. If you have a look at Steven, you can see that he's pushing as well. There isn't much ERS to use for him either. As we can see, Thomas McIver taking the fastest lap of the race there, making sure Ross loses that. Now on to the final lap. And there is many battle. Well, there is actually one battle. There is Thomas McIver right on the back of Matt Romano, both on soft tires. However, Thomas McIver on fresher softs. Also, we're gonna just make sure that we catch the leader as he will pass the finish line, but we still have some time before that. And look at this, Matt not giving up this position. He's gonna fight for it. Obviously, Matt, the only driver without a penalty so far this race. But now we're gonna have to jump over to Ivan Kingsley, as he is weaving, he is happy, he has dominated this race in the end as he wins the Australian Grand Prix round 1. Sylvain Vessier then 2.9 seconds ahead of Steven right now. That is not enough to get that second place. He needs two more tenths at the moment to secure a 1-2-4 Ferrari. However, it looks like it might be just a bit too difficult as he's pushing out of the final corner, coming over the line to take P2. But is he gonna keep it as Steven goes over the line to split the Ferraris? It looks like Sylvain might have gotten a second penalty, another penalty at the end. But Ermin takes 4th place in his race debut to secure some good points for the Racing Point team. Then Tom Spicer goes over the line to take 5th place before Billy Mossam takes 6th. Then Lewis Williams in his debut takes 6th place away from Billy. Now Enzo should be the next driver coming over the line to take 7th away from Billy. Ross is the next, he takes 9th, he does not get anything on penalties there. And Jeremy Pope should be the last driver to cross the line and finish the race with 10th place and 1 point. And we can see that the game selects Stephen Grayson as driver of the day. I'm not gonna try to claim that I am. Remember where he qualified, but look at this. Is Ivan Kingsley making his first charge towards the title here, as he takes the first win of the season ahead of Stephen Grayson in his debut, and Sylvain Vessier in 3rd place, joining his teammate Ivan on the podium. And we can see that Steven actually going from 17th to 2nd today, so good shout for driver of the day for him. However, nobody could touch Ivan in the end, winning by 29 seconds down to Steven. And we can see that Silva did get another penalty at the end. However, in 4th place, Ermin, then before we get Tom in 5th, then Lewis Williams in 6th, Enzo in 7th, Billy Mossam in 8th, Ross in 9th, and I'm sure he is disappointed with that. Jeremy Pope to take 10th place, and the last point before we have Matt Romano finishing as the only driver without a penalty. Then we have Thomas McIver, Chris Ryan, Joachim Storm, and then we have Luke Baker, William Mammoth, Michael Marlowe, Logan, and Jessica Harrison, all getting a DNF today. And then I will see if we can get any of these drivers in for podiums, in podium interviews. As we just quickly gonna accept this. And then let's see, and we can also have a quick look, and we can see that PS IRL F2 is still not finished. We can see that I believe that is Adrian Villarreal leading just ahead of Eric, and then Ross in third there. So that is 2 laps remaining for anyone who wants to watch the last 2 laps of F2. However, I can see that we have gotten, I believe that is both the Ferraris in here. It is.
Blue.
And I think we'll just start them, and I think we'll start off with you, Silva.
Hello.
There you are. So, first of all, congratulations on third place there. After,
Okay.
I believe you've tried to secure the 1-2 there, but you picked
got a
up
3
one.
second at the end.
Yeah, you got it right at the end as well, so that made it a bit too difficult. But first, though, the start of the race looked quite hectic for both of you. Actually, there was fighting with each other and fighting with Thomas MacGyver, I believe it was. So, if you could just take us through the first few laps of your race, and how confident you were at the beginning.
Well, got a good start, so went from either P3, P4 to P2 going into turn 1. And then everyone went deep going into turn 1, like up because our tyres and brakes were cold. And then I managed to get a good run on Thomas. Went down the inside of him in turn 3, and then we were just side by side, just in the final sector, just due to DRS as well, and then just defending.
I do remember seeing quite a lot of fighting, and if I can't remember correctly, or I believe you lost the position back to Thomas, but then took it back again the lap after, and I can't remember if it happened the third time after that as well, but I remember certainly that there was a lot of fighting and surprisingly good racing for Australia. But secondly, then the virtuals came out, and you and your teammate chose different strategies. Like, did you guys talk it out at all, or was it just
Nah,
spontaneous what you
it
guys
was
did?
just instinct, to be honest. I was like, wanted to go more aggressive, because I know I would have the pace to get through the field with my driving style. But obviously it showed that the one stop was faster today.
I'm not gonna lie, it usually is there. Even with pace, it is a difficult track to overtake and clear traffic quickly enough. But nonetheless, though, did you ever think about not trying to not pit again towards the end, or was that out of the question?
Pretty much out the question. The mediums just died off, to be honest. So,
I'm not
so
surprised.
no chance.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. However, third place is a good result, and especially when you have your teammate winning, makes it a pretty good start to the season. However, next race we're going to Russia. How's that track for you, and what do you expect there?
Don't know really. It's going to be a race about pens, etc., due to track extensions, because how much runoff there is. So it'll be a weird one, but there's quite a couple of overtaking opportunities to get through the field.
I do have to agree with you there. It is an easier track to overtake on. However, you are right. Penalties will definitely play a factor on Russia. So, not completely sure where you think you're gonna end up there.
Not really. Hoping be in the top 5.
Well, I certainly will expect to see you high up there. You showed good pace today, so impressive. But with that, congratulations and good luck for Russia to you.
Cheers.
And we'll move over to your teammate Ivan.
Hello.
So first of all, Ivan, congratulations on the win today. I believe it is your first IRL win, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct. I think this is my second season actually in IRL, like completely. So yeah, getting a win, it feels good.
Well, what a way to get a win in. 20... Oh, what was it? 29 seconds or something ahead?
Yeah.
Not a small gap. But first of all, though, we'll have a take on quali first. You looked strong there, as did
well,
a couple of others, like Thomas. I believe somehow managed to sneak himself onto pole without me noticing at the end. But
yeah.
I've noticed a bit of a rivalry between you and Ross in the AlphaTauri, though. Not even just in IRL, but just a bit of a rivalry in general. And how does it feel to come out on top in the first quali of the season then?
Well, obviously Australia is one of my strong tracks. I did practice for a little while, obviously more than I normally do for some races, but just to kick it off for the season. Obviously pre-season didn't go my way for China, but for Australia I just kept my head down, and the qualifying was a little bit rough though. Through the second sector, the rear was always either stepping out just every single time, but then I saw that I think his name's Thomas, like TM Racing. He got pole position just near the end, so I couldn't go for another push lap to like regain the time. So I couldn't complain about that.
Well, it happens. However, you don't win a race in quali. And on to the race then. How was your perspective of the first few laps? Because obviously you were right behind your teammate after turn 1, and you saw him battling with Thomas. And like, how was it from your point of view?
Well, obviously, if you look back at the stream off the line, I did get a really bad start. Obviously, Sylvan actually got past me because, well, I don't know what it was, but I got a really bad start. But then, when they started to battle, I was contemplating whether I get involved and just try to get past them. But obviously, for a few laps, they were just scrapping it all after each other, and I was getting a little bit worried that my teammate was gonna go for like a little bit of a move that wouldn't have worked, and then he gets himself put out of the race. Same with Thomas, but obviously I just stuck behind in the DRS and the slipstream between both of them for a couple of laps. But well, wait, do you want the rest, or do you just want about the battle that was off the first few laps?
Well, to begin with, the battle was what I was wondering about.
All right.
To see if the thought was to
Yeah, it was
just
a little
wait
bit.
for a
It
gap
was a little
or.
bit nerve-wracking. It was a little bit nerve-wracking to obviously see them going side by side. Obviously, I know Sylvan to be like a very not aggressive driver, but he always wants to get the move done everywhere. So obviously it was a little bit scary to see both of them going side by side for almost every single lap, switching back position after position. So I was just trying to just keep between the DRS and the slipstream, but not get myself involved in their fight. and well, obviously because I don't want to get myself put in, like obviously I don't want to put myself on the wall for trying to get involved with a fight with two obvious other guys. One, my teammate, and two, the guy who secured Paul.
Well, in my opinion, smart decision there. During a battle
Yeah.
like that, it is always chances to get a double overtake, but it's also a way bigger risk of ending up in the wall. But nonetheless, though, you sat behind for a little, and then we got some safety car, well, not safety cars, but the virtual safety cars, and obviously, as your teammate said, you and your teammate went for different strategies there. Was there ever a point where you doubted your less aggressive strategy than his more aggressive one?
Well, obviously, as bad as this sounds, obviously I've known my teammate for a little while, so I do know that he tends to like not get under pressure, but he tends to get a little bit more penalties and a little bit more warnings. Obviously, I got given two warnings after turn one for some reason, but obviously the gap was big enough, so it didn't really bother me that much. But yeah, the penalty wise between Sylvan was completely different. Obviously, I think we tied on pens actually at the end. He had 6 and I had 6. I'm pretty sure. But
I got 9 on the final lap.
right. But yeah, the strategy though, yeah, me and Vester obviously do different strategies. Most times we've been teammates. But yeah, I just wanted to go for the very cautious one because when I was on the softs, they started to die down a little bit, and I can't remember who it was behind me or in front of me. I think it was the McLaren. I'm not too sure. I can't remember, but the tires started to die off a lot, so then I had to pit, and then I stuck on the hards, and then I just had to pray that all the time that a safety, like a full course safety car, didn't come out, because if that did, that would have
Yeah.
that would have obviously ruined my race completely because my teammate would be on the better tires. Same with the rest of the grid.
It would have been not in your favor indeed. However, though, it didn't show, and you just went on to get a huge gap and took the win in the end. And you looked very happy over the line. However, next week we're heading to Russia. How is that track for you, and what do you expect?
Well, obviously it's the same as my teammate. I obviously just want to aim for the top 5. Obviously, I feel like I'm much more confident this season for points. Obviously, I'm going to keep my head down and just practice a little bit more because on my first season, it was like an up and down with roller coaster. Obviously, Ross being my teammate, it was just always Ross being in front of me, and I just wasn't keeping my head down. But for this season, I just aim for top 5 for next week. Obviously, Russia being just the one would be decided by the penalties because obviously anywhere you go a little bit wide, you cut a little bit, try to get a little bit of time gained, it'll just give you a penalty. So potentially top 5, but I don't want to jinx myself too much from just getting this win right now. Obviously, I just want to cherish it and not give myself too much of a confidence boost for the next race.
Fair enough. Then a last question for you both then. Obviously today looking by far as the strongest team right now. However, who do you guys think are the strongest teams on the grid at the moment?
I would probably say us or AlphaTauri, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say AlphaTauri because well, I think it was Into the Bar. Obviously, I don't know his real name, but obviously, I was on the outside line of him, and he kind of like obviously got into a little bit of a collision with me. Obviously, it's just hard racing, so I can't really say it was my fault or his fault. It's just racing, but yeah, AlphaTauri probably will be the strongest team behind us. I would expect a fight between us and that team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll probably be faster, like quali-wise, I would say, but Alpha does kind of tend to go into a lot of crashes, or he makes quite a lot of mistakes.
He did do that at me at turn 1, which obviously he couldn't have, which wasn't the smartest place because he had DRS and Slipstream, and he just went round. I don't know if he was trying to go for a move from like 5 turns back, but obviously I saw him spin, and then I was like, okay, that's good, because obviously I want to beat my previous teammate, because obviously there was a massive gap towards me and Alpha, so my aim is to beat obviously my teammate and my ex-teammate. But yeah, AlphaTauri, 100%. They'll be our rivals for this season, I reckon.
Well, in that case, I have no further questions, and just good luck for next week in Russia, and also good luck in both the drivers and constructors championship then.
Thanks.
Cheers.
And with that, this has been IRL Season 10 now, F3 Round 1 Australia. I've been your commentator, Sondre Sorhaug. It's been an exciting race. It's been surprisingly exciting to be Australia. I would highly recommend people to watch it. But for now, we're gonna go off. And with that, hopefully we'll see you again. Make sure to like and subscribe for more races. Goodbye.